Hello, my name is Laura Tilt. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm here today to talk to you about what to eat to feed your microbiome. So why does it matter what we eat when it comes to the microbiome? Well, there's lots of scientific evidence to show that diet is one of the factors that shapes the health of a microbiome. And this means that we have the opportunity to support our gut health and our gut microbes through our food choices. So what should we be eating to feed our microbiome? Well, the most important nutrient is fibre. Fibre is a type of carbohydrate. We find it in whole grain cereals like wholemeal bread and wholemeal pasta, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds and pulses, so that's beans, peas and lentils. Now, we don't actually possess the enzymes to break fibre down, and this means it travels through our gut relatively unchanged and lands in the large intestine where it feeds your microbes. Now, when your microbes consume fibre, they produce compounds we call short-chain fatty acids, and these help to keep the lining of your gut healthy. So eating lots of high-fibre foods is really beneficial for your microbes. Now, one group of fibres that are particularly helpful are called prebiotics. These are specific fibres that only feed the beneficial microbes in your gut. You can imagine it like watering the roses in your garden. Now, we get prebiotics in various foods like onion, garlic, artichokes, greenish bananas and pulses. So by including a wide range of plant foods in your diet, you'll be getting a good amount of prebiotics too. So what things have a negative impact on the microbiome? Well, diets which are low or lacking in fibre have been associated with less microbial diversity. This matters because a diverse microbiome seems to be a marker of microbial fitness. In addition, foods which are high in fat, sugar and salt don't really have much fibre in, so they should form the smallest parts of our diet, and we should look to include as many whole grains, fruits and vegetables as possible. Something else to avoid is restrictive diets, so diets which cut out whole food groups, for example low-carb diets. These tend to be limited in their diversity and can often mean you don't get enough fibre or other nutrients which are really important for your microbes. So what's the importance of fermented foods? Well, these are foods which are produced by the action of live microbes. They include things you might not realise are fermented like yogurt, cheese, coffee and chocolate, but also foods like kefir, kombucha and sauerkraut. Now, these have attracted a lot of attention in recent years because people think that the live microbes they contain might make their way to the gut and have positive effects. It's important to address the misconception that fermented foods are the same as probiotics. Not all fermented foods contain live microbes because some of them are heat treated, pasteurised or filtered before they reach your plate. However, that doesn't mean they're not worth eating. The evidence that we do have suggests fermented dairy foods like kefir and yogurt may have positive effects in the gut. And other fermented foods like sauerkraut, which is fermented cabbage, also contains fibre, which as you know is a great nutrient for your gut microbes. So what are some tips that can help to feed the gut microbiome? Well, my first tip is to think about meals for microbes. So when you look at your plate, ask yourself, do I have something here that will feed my microbes? My second tip is to make the switch. So try looking at the back of packets and switching maybe a lower fibre cereal for a higher fibre alternative. Foods that contain 6 grams of fibre or more per 100 grams are considered high fibre. My third tip is to get lots of fruits and vegetables in your diet, and remember that chickpeas, beans and lentils count towards your fruit and vegetable intake. And my last and final tip is to try adding some fermented dairy foods to your diet. For example, you could have kefir instead of milk on your breakfast cereal. So I hope that's given you some inspiration on what you can do to feed your gut microbiome, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.